People who are genuine, kind-hearted, and compassionate often find themselves in situations where the friends, the coworker, or even the romantic partners they choose often hurt them or take advantage of them. And someone actually wrote to me about this very thing, and she said, "I am an empath, and my ex hurt me terribly, but I still feel a strong pull to him. He's in a battle with himself. I'm wondering how to tell the difference between feeling empathy for someone versus feeling your spirit leading you back to them." That's a very powerful and good question, and I think a lot of people can relate to this. So let's start by talking about empathy. How can you know when you're feeling empathy towards someone? Well, when you are, again, kind-hearted and compassionate, you will naturally feel empathy for the people that you love. Empathy is often a sign of a big, beautiful, kind, giving heart. And as someone who is very empathetic, you want to be there to ease the wounds, ease the discomfort of the person and the people that you love. You have a very nurturing sensation about you, right? You're very gentle, you're kind, and you're probably the type of person who keeps her mouth shut for a very long time until push comes to shove, until you're backed into a corner. And then that's when you have to have those uncomfortable situations. So a lot of people who are extremely empathic have those traits. So it's really important to identify what your purpose is with your ex-husband or with your ex. Was it your ex-husband or your ex? It was your ex, okay. So identify what your relationship was with him. What was it about you that initially pulled you towards him? In the beginning of the relationship, was he fun to be around? Or in the beginning of the relationship, was he showing signs that he was sad and he was sullen and he had this heavy weight on his shoulders and you felt this need to rescue him? Or was he fun and did he put a smile on your face? Or maybe it was a mix of both. Really get into the energy of what the relationship started with, because whatever it is that it started with, that's what you were attracted to. And if you realize that you're someone who likes to rescue people, then that's a good thing to acknowledge about yourself, because it means that by nature, you're a healer, you are a counselor, you're a rescuer, and those are good things, but they're not usually good things in a romantic relationship. And they're not usually good things in close friendships, because if we are in a close friendship with someone and we've rescued them, what will happen is when they no longer need rescuing, they move along. I've seen this happen several times in my own life. When someone no longer needs rescuing, when you're no longer benefiting them, they up and they leave. Right? Of course, there's other reasons people leave relationships too. It's not just that, but if you're a rescuer, you're going to see that scenario play out over and over again. So it is wonderful to rescue people who want to be rescued through different means. So for example, you may want to join a nonprofit organization that allows you to be a big sister to kids who don't have solid adults to look up to. You may want to look into volunteer at a home for elderly people. Find healthy ways to do your rescuing. And that can be why your soul is being pulled towards your ex, is because you do have a strong sensation to rescue people, to help them. And again, that's a wonderful thing. And if there's no one in your life who needs that amount of rescuing like your ex does, then your soul is being drawn to your ex because that's where your soul is feeling its purpose, it's being met. It's through your ex. However, if you can redirect that energy elsewhere, I think you're going to find that you feel better about yourself, you feel less drained, and you don't necessarily have that fear of being hurt anymore, because the people that you're rescuing, the people that you're putting your energy towards, need rescuing. And you know full well that when they get better, they're probably going to walk away, and you're okay with that, right? It's like when you go to a therapist. You go to a therapist when you are having some very strong, challenging issues in your life, or you have something else going on and you need help. A therapist can be very helpful in helping you through those challenges. And once you get through them, once you get the game plan, once you feel like you're doing good, you don't need the therapist anymore, right? You walk away from that therapist, and maybe you go back at another time, or maybe you don't. Everyone's a little different. And so when you walk away from the therapist doesn't have hurt feelings about it. The therapist did his or her job. She helped you to get on the straight and narrow. She helped you to get better. She helped you to get a solid sensation or a solid foundation under your feet, right? She did her job. So when you move on, it's good. It's good for everybody, right? And so that is the ideal situation for people who feel the need to rescue others. And I find that a lot of empaths are wonderful at providing a safe environment for the people that they love. And this safe environment is one where feelings can be shared, where opinions can be expressed. It's one where the empath is offering a shoulder to cry on. The problem is that if you as an empath are not providing those benefits, I guess you could say, to someone who's also empathic, then you're probably not getting that same type of attention back to you. You're not getting that same, let's talk about it sensation, or let's figure this out. You're not getting that same shoulder to cry on. And that's very frustrating, right? If someone's not offering you the level of comfort and care and love that you are projecting out to them, that you're presenting to them, that is heartbreaking. That is just absolutely heartbreaking, because we all deserve that. We should all have people in our life who love us unconditionally and who offer that to us. And if you're giving that type of love to someone who's not giving it back, that's unfair. And it also means that the scales are tipped out of your favor, right? And that's when we start to feel an imbalance. That's when we start to feel dissettled. And that's when we start to feel really hurt. So my suggestion is find a different community that you can pour that same empathy into. Find a community where you can pour your gentleness, your nurturing abilities, your nurturing skills, your love, your kindness, your compassion. Find another place where you can focus that energy on. And again, could be a children's hospital, could be a home for elderly people, could be a ministry for the homeless, could be anywhere. But just find a different place where you can put those empathic abilities to use and know that you're making a difference in someone's life, and know that you're not going to be taken advantage of. And even if you are taken advantage of by your new community or by this new group of people that you're helping, you can still feel sad about that. You can still get hurt about that. But that type of hurt is different than what we experience when we are in a romantic relationship. Because in a romantic partnership, we rightfully expect our loved one, our partner, our spouse, our boyfriend, our girlfriend, to care for us too, right? To offer that same empathy back. We expect that person to show the same love, consideration, and kindness that we give to them. And that is not an irresponsible request. And so I would really encourage you to think about what it is that you need in a relationship. What would make you feel safe? What would put a smile on your face? What type of person do you want to wake up to in the morning? What type of morning routine do you guys have? How does this person complement you and complement your life? When you get into a situation with someone who is at war with himself, you have to ask yourself, why are you even considering being a part of that war? Because in a war, there's two sides. And if someone's in a war with himself, there is somebody who is over here, that person's over here, but he's also over here too. Neither side wins and both side loses in that situation. There's no winning side, right? There's no winning side. So if you are in a relationship with someone who's at war with himself, where's the winning side? There isn't one. So I would really encourage you, again, to think about the dynamics of that relationship, figure out what exactly it is that you're being pulled to, and direct that energy somewhere else. Find maybe other people who have that same wound that you want to ease and put that energy there. And when it comes to your ex, if you absolutely want to still be there for him, and that can always be a sticky situation, but if you're really feeling the need for that, I would recommend that you set some strong boundaries, not for him, but for yourself. You know, those boundaries could be that you're not going to spend the night at his house. Those boundaries can be that you're only going to check in on him once a week. Those boundaries can be that when you call, you're going to spend no more than 20 minutes on the phone with him. You know, so figure out what it is that you're getting out of this relationship, because you're getting something out of it too. And my guess is that it's that need to be needed. It's the need to be needed. And that can be a good feeling. You know, it does feel good to be needed. You know, when someone needs something that we can freely offer them, that feels good for us, right? Because it's a way that we're extending our love towards someone. But we also have to be really careful with that, because again, we run the risk of being hurt or being taken advantage of in a lot of situations, both. So if you need to be there as a friend for your ex, again, I recommend setting those boundaries, setting rules for yourself, and being sure that you follow them. What I have noticed in situations like this, though, is that when people try to remain friends with someone who has hurt them, they almost always get back into a situation where that person starts to really kind of gobble up their lives and their energy. Before you know it, that caring, gentle, loving, empathic person is down the rabbit hole trying to clean up this person messes all over again and getting, you know, neck deep into the problems of someone else when these problems aren't your own. So you want to be really mindful of that. The other thing I want you to consider is that your soul also wants to guide you not just to where its purpose can be met, but towards the things that make you feel happy, that make you feel safe. So really think about what type of environments, what type of people, what type of communities would offer that type of food for your soul. Because we need to always be careful about spending our battery, right? We need to be sure that as we are giving energy to other people, we have another source that allows us to take more energy in. Because once that battery is drained, it can take a while to recharge. And if someone is continuing to take energy from us when our battery is already drained, we can get into a situation where we get really depressed, we get tired, we become overwhelmed, we can't function very well. So you always want to be mindful that your relationships go both ways and that they fill you up and not tear you down. Right? So I hope that this was helpful for you. So for those of you who would like me to answer one of your spiritual or psychic related questions, and I have to, stress this out. Do not send requests for free readings. If you'd like to purchase a reading with me, you can visit my website, guidingechoes.com. But if you have a spiritual question or, psychic advice, something like that, paranormal experience that you had that you'd like some insight into, you can email me at asknicole@guidingechoes.com. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.